I didn't think we'd get to the book-burning stage of techno-fascism quite this quickly, but here we are, I guess. Last week, in a bombshell report by the Washington Post, court documents were released that revealed that Anthropic, the AI company behind Claude, have spent the past few years buying up thousands upon thousands of antique books, slicing off their spines with a hydraulic press, digitizing them, and then shredding them. This should concern everyone for hopefully obvious reasons, and the documents themselves show that Anthropic were aware that this would not be looked kindly upon by regulators and the general public, as there are multiple instances within them of staff emphasizing that they don't want this to be public knowledge. The sheer scale of this operation, which the internal documents refer to as Project Panama, a suitably dystopian name, is legitimately unbelievable. Here's a picture of one of the alleged warehouses they used to store the books. It's insane. The documents describe Project Panama as, quote, it's so insane, I can't even say it. The documents describe Project Panama as our effort to destructively scan all the books in the world. But why would anyone even want to do that in the first place? Why not just scan the books and then release them back onto the secondary market to be enjoyed by a human audience? Well, I have a theory, but it's not a nice one. I think a big clue can be found in this clip of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman saying he envisions AI subscriptions as the next big household utility.
We see a future where intelligence is a utility, like electricity or water.
This, in my opinion, is a stroke of evil genius from Altman, and I suspect that basically all of these AI dweebs have a similar vision for the future of their business models. The reason why utilities are such a lucrative business is that they rely on inelastic markets. You can't, for instance, opt out of needing water in order to survive. You can't opt out of needing electricity to power the technology that has become a necessity of modern life. And AI companies want to manufacture a situation where you can't opt out of using their large language models to access knowledge. They understand that in a world where intelligence is a utility, cheap access to books in the form of libraries, online archives, and even pirated material become threats to the AI company's business model. And what's the best way to guarantee that knowledge isn't accessible to the general public? To engage in the industrialized destruction of physical media on a scale exceeding what we saw during the book burnings of the Second World War. The short-sightedness of this operation is also something that needs to be emphasized. Digital storage media like hard drives and SSDs are great for storing almost unimaginably large data sets, but what they gain in capacity, they lose in longevity. Server hard drives, the kind used in AI data centers, need to be replaced once every 10 or so years. On the other hand, although they can only contain a few hundred megabytes of data at a time, books are a remarkably non-volatile storage medium. They can last for hundreds and hundreds of years as long as they're stored properly. What happens when these AI companies lose control of a model and all of this data becomes irretrievably lost? What happens when we're hit by a particularly strong solar flare and a bunch of our digital storage media gets EMP'd off the face of the earth? A huge part of the reason why humans were able to take ourselves out of the food chain in the first place is down to our ability to transfer information between generations. And these billionaire freaks see that as a glitch that the free market needs to correct. To me, this is an epoch-defining problem for our species, and making the wrong choices now could have catastrophic consequences for the generations that succeed us. But Sam Altman doesn't care, Elon Musk doesn't care, Anthropic don't care. As far as they're concerned, the most important thing is not getting left behind in the dataset gold rush. Nothing is sacred, and there is no depth they won't sink to in order to keep up with the competition.